Hello folks, Typhoon Carter here, and I bring to you another Smogan Premier League matchup. This is a Week 9 showdown between Christos of the Circus Maximus Tigers and BKC of the Dragonspiral Tyrants. Both of these players, their teams are looking to continue their season into the playoffs. The Tigers have already secured their spot, so Christos doesn't have too much pressure to win, although they would need like a massive collapse to somehow miss. As for the Tyrants, they're kind of hanging on by the thread, so you're going to need BKC to come through with a huge win potentially. That being said though, both these players have had very different seasons. Christos did not start off the season starting in DPP. He came in halfway through the season after Malekith came off to a bit of a slow start, but Christos has filled in admirably for the Tigers as he has beaten some solid players. And he is also coming off of a win against We Free Kings last week. As for BKC, he's been having a respectable campaign, and he got off to a bit of a hot start earlier in the season, but he has slowed down a bit ever since, but he's still holding up fairly well. That being said, this looks to be a very exciting matchup, and let's jump right into this. Azelf lead, Zap lead. This lead matchup could tell me a couple things. One, on the Azelf lead on Christos' side tells me this is some kind of hyper offense. Could be something like a boom spam. Could also be something just like a standard HO with rocks and multiple Dragon Dancers or setup sweepers. Whereas on BKC's end, the Zapdos could be a lot of things. Could be a big 6 build. Could be just some kind of balance build. Could be something even like an offensive Zapdos. A bit more rare, but it's certainly a thing. That being said, let's keep going. Rocks are up. BKC just going to break the sash, it looks like, and Azelf is going to let that boom rip. That T-Bolt did a lot. Might be specs. That being said, the Gira versus Pert. Pert has to switch out, indicating no hint of power electric. HP electric is a thing on Pert sometimes, but yeah. Anyways, the Christos doubles out the bag, doesn't like what he sees, goes back out to Gira. Rocks are up, and Gira's just gonna let this waterfall rip. And Pashleberry is burnt on the Tyranitar, and T-Tar has to switch out again. And Christos is just going to keep waterfalling. No reason for him to switch. And Pert is brought out. And Magnezone brought out looking to be the steel resistive choice. And Magna Rise is shown to avoid the EQ. BKC knows this. Might be a possibility and just lets the Hydro Pump rip. And yeah, Hydro Pump lands again. So this is a 5-4 game in BKC's favor. And BKC going to let this Ice Beam rip. However, could be Custap. And Christos not caring at all. Just opts to let the Waterfall rip. So maybe he has something else for the Pert in case Custap is popped. Anyways, yeah, so Dragon Pulse takes out the Gyarados. And BKC lets the Fire Blast rip. Christos hoping it might have been Choice Lock, but instead, going to be able to Agility up. And the Jirachi is brought out in case of a Meteor Mash predict from Christos, but the Metagross has got to go down pretty quickly, so it is a 4-2 game in BKC's favor. DD's up, and Custap is popped. The Hydro Pump misses. That would have absolutely killed the Tyranitar, so that's a very crucial miss. And Lottie trying to get a crit. Yeah, trying to like land maybe a critical hit with that, and BKC says GG, and he concedes the game as it looks like there's no way for him to come back. A bit of an unfortunate game, looking to be a very fast-paced game between both players. And the reason why Christos EQ'd there was because in case the Latias was in fact Scarf, tricking the Choice Scarf was going to be something favorable for Christos, as the Latias looked like it was going to die to hazard damage anyway, so BKC needed to like fish for a critical hit with the Draco Meteor, but I'm not even sure if that would have necessarily killed. That being said though, it was a pretty interesting game. I wonder what Christos' last was. It might have been another setup sweeper of some kind, but I wonder if BKC had like EQ or something on that perk, but maybe he didn't. Maybe that's why he just opted. Maybe that's why he had to let the hydro pump rip. But Christos' last, I assume, would have probably been something like a Latias potentially, like just another speed control option. That's my first thought on what the last could have been. Or like just some kind of choice scarfer. That's like what I imagine Christos having on his end. But that being said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.